all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, double honors to Apostle Elders in New York, GMS, and salutations to y'all around the world that's teaching truth, and shalom to you, serious Aqua. My name is Mael Kala Bangat, the which call branch of Great Millstone. I'd like to make a disclaimer that we're not black Hebrew Israelites. We are Israelites. Black is a color, not a nationality. The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds scattered abroad. Speckled birds are Israelites who look like other nations, but their fathers' paternal bloodline go back to the 12 tribes of Israel. We're not affiliated with any violent militant terrorist groups. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite groups. So deal with this controversy of the people that's called the African Hebrew Israelites and the Mona. Now, in the first place, you shouldn't have calling yourself African Hebrew Israelites. All right. Yahweh didn't call his people African Israelites. He called them Israel, was correctly Yasharallah, he Prince of Power. All right. So in scripture, you'll sometimes refer to as Yasharallah. All right. Ban Yasharallah means son of Israel. And in English, is children of Israel. For as Jews, was it Yahweh? All right, because the majority of the Southern Kingdom was left during after the Northern Kingdom was taken out of Samaria, northern Israel in 7022 BC. Then later on they had came over here to Americas. You know them as the so-called Native Americans and Latinos. All right, so all right, and Israel, man. You know, people that never left Israel. Then you have people that came from Syria, Morocco, Syria, Morocco, Yemen. All right. Even among the Ashkenazi people. All right. So, like El Tahar said, some of those Ashkenazis, Jew people, all right, the Jew people, all right, they are legit Israelites, but you have converts among them, okay, and that's the one that's the converts are Amalekite, and that's the one that's stirring up this problem here, man. But anyway, Prince Ayah being Armenian, them had no business going back over there because they supposed to wait on Yahweh to put them in that land, all right. And I'm gonna say it like this, man. I don't care your feelings hurt. All right, it got to be said, man. Too many people they get romantic with people, man. And he was a false prophet, man, because he wasn't supposed to take out people over there, man. All right, supposed to be Yahweh. All right, so let me get this. Yeah, I hate losing stuff. Yeah, what did I read to the? All right, well, I'm just gonna get this Jeremiah 30 verse 10. It says, "Therefore fear thou not, O servant Jacob, said Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, none shall make him afraid." So we supposed to wait on Yahweh. All right. Okay. It said, for I am with thee, said Yahweh, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations, but I have scattered thee, right? And y'all gonna destroy the nations, right? Basically, put them down. All right. They're gonna serve us in slavery. Esau, the so-called Europeans, They're going to serve 1,000 years of slavery. Then they're going to be exterminated. Like I said in Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. All right, it says, I will make a fool in the nation where I had scattered thee, yet I will not make a fool in of thee. Because these Christians that said Israel been done away with, but but I will correct thee in measure, will not leave thee altogether on punishment, right? Because we violate the laws, statutes, commandments. All right. So, that's what's happening, man. And you can't run to you can't run anywhere, man, until you got to endure your punishment, man. All right, go Leviticus 26. All right, and it's a lot my dog bark. He's a good watchdog. So, all right, but anyway, it says Leviticus 26. All right, let me see. It's in Leviticus 26:17. I will set my face against you. You shall be slain before your enemy. That's where you're getting slaughtered in the streets today. Back then, it was the Romans, Greeks, all the other nations, the Hamites, so-called Africans. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee with none pursue. They that hate you reigns over the Esau, man. Over there, the land over there, you got the known, the lead tribe over there of Edom, Amalek, ruling in our homeland Israel over our people, man. All right, it says, all right, go down here. All right, let me see, it says Leviticus 26:32, I will scatter you among the heathen and will draw a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, your cities away. That land desolate over there in Israel. All right, we're the children of Israel coming to that land shall be flourishing, green. All right. Well, our enemies shall pursue. It says right here, Leviticus 26:38. It says, and ye shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies will eat you up. And they that are left you shall pine away in their iniquities in your lands, and also your iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. All right. So just showing you how people scattered and how they should be gathered back. All right, go this Isaiah 11. All right, it says right here, Isaiah 11:11. All right, it shall come to pass that day Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, Pathros, Cush, Elam, Shinar, and from off and from the islands of the sea. All right, he shall set up an ensign for nations, shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, all right, the northern kingdom, and gather together the dispersed of Judah, southern kingdom, from the four corners of the earth. All right. So, there you go, man. All right. So only Yahweh supposed to save us. All right. I'm trying to get this Micah 4:10. It's a lot. All right. It says, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter Zion, like a woman travail. For now thou shalt go forth out of the city, thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon, and there thou shalt be delivered. And there Yahweh shall redeem thee from the hand of thy enemies. So Babylon's America. All right. So we're gonna be saved out of America. So I said, Ben Armenian had no business going over there. All right. Because the prophecies had to be fulfilled of Yahweh to come to rescue us. All right. So I'll read this for. I'll play the clip. It says Section 107 of Copyright Act provides a statutory framework for determining where something is fair use and identifies certain types of uses such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. As an example, activity may qualify as fair use. Section 107 calls for consideration for a factor to evaluate a question of fair use. All right, so this is It said purpose and care of the use include whereas use of commercial nature is for non-profit educational purposes. All right. So this video maker is non-profit, making a profit off the 2 video clips on the show. And this was teaching scholarship and research, also commenting and criticism. All right. I do not own the 2 video clips I'm about to play from ILTV Israel News and I-24 News English. I do not own the visual or the audio to both clips. They belong to ILTV Israel News and I-24 News English. All right, so I'm gonna play this right here. All right.
Now, amidst the noise of the recent clashes with Palestinians, another crisis is going mostly under the radar. Dozens of members of the African Hebrew Israelites, believing to be descendants of an ancient Israelite tribe, now facing deportation. The Interior Ministry reportedly giving upwards of 46 families just 2 months to leave the country despite having permanent residency status. Joining me now with more, though, is Hebrew Israelite Community Representative Ashrael Moore. Ashrael, thank you so much for being with us. Now, you just came out of a meeting, I understand, with the Minister of Interior. What was discussed in the meeting, and were there any developments?
Well, first of all, good afternoon to you, and thank you for having me, and good afternoon to all of our viewing audience. Just a bit of accuracy. We were not meeting with the Ministry of Interior. We were meeting with the Deputy Minister of...
Right there, and you see his last name, Moore. All right. I'm gonna bring something up about that peculiar surname he has later on in a couple minutes in this video.
Internal security, who's a personal friend of the communities and who's looking forward to assisting us. He's from the Ethiopian community, Pt.1. And what we discuss very simply...
Yeah, those Ethiopian Beta Israel, those are not Israelites, those are Cushites, converts. All right, now we do have our people scattered in Ethiopia. All right, okay, all right. So let's get that straight. Okay. All right.
So you can have a general picture. Yeah. You see, we have approximately 135 people right now who have upward of about 50 days now to be out of the country. Now, when we look at these people, we're considering...
And right here it says defining Israeli. Okay, let's look up the definition of Israeli. All right, so... definition of Israeli. If you people, you don't look up anything. All right, definition of Israeli. Israeli relating to the modern country of Israel. All right. Okay. So it's not telling you go to the word Israelite. Right, bam, right there. All right. It's a member of the ancient Hebrew nation, especially in the period from the Exodus to the Babylonian captivity, the 12th to 6th centuries, right, man? Right, so these people, I'm gonna type in Damona. Let's say Damona. Let's see what pops up. Let's see. I thought that would pop up the moment Israel. Let's put in African Hebrew Israelites. Again, they're not Africans, they're Israelites. They ain't no business calling themselves that. They should know better. Alright. Anyway, it says Right, so these people right here are the biblical Israelites, according to the curses in Deuteronomy 28, according to the curses in Leviticus 26, what I just read. Right, you can see them in the Israeli Defense Force uniforms. All right, they had no business serving in Esau's army over there, man. All right, he just ran for the plantation in Esau, ran to another Esau plantation while the plantation is on your own land. All right, so it's right here.
You have those who've been in Israel since 1969, 1970. You have children in second and third generation of their children who've been born in Israel who don't have any legal status in any other country in the world. You have those who have matriculated through the systems of Israel, most notably the military, and their either family members or parents are up for deportation. There's a situation here that we've tried to settle with the Ministry of Interior, and we've tried to settle it for the last 53 years. But somehow, some way, we've always run into stumbling blocks where they would just not allow us to do so. And this time around was a bit stranger because they gave us a feeling that they actually wanted to settle the cases.
Right, they're not gonna let a bunch of Negroes, so-called Native Americans, and Latinos, all right, to be legit. To say they are the legit Israelites, all right, because their job is to deceive people. That the people I'm talking about, the Amalekites that runs the modern day state of Israel, right? Their job is to keep deceiving the rest of the world to believing they are the true children of Israel. All right. So that's why it's important to know your history, pertaining to the Bible, also secular history, and the breakdown of certain words. All right, you see, he said every time they try to get full citizenship, they always come to stumbling blocks, man. All right, and that's what Esau does, man. He oppressed the heck of our people. He oppressed the hell of our people with his laws, man, and with his unrighteous decrees. All right, you see, they changed the law of return after they came there. All right, because they don't want the original Israelites there. All right, it says right here, Wisdom Solomon chapter 2 verse 10, it said, "Let us oppress the poor, righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice. Let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth." Right, so they consider you not our people is feeble, man, because we have no we have Yahweh Basham Shai, but which we gotta wait on him to put us on top again. All right, by him sending his son Yahweh Shai, 144,000, the elect of Israel, and the angels, and those so-called UFOs. We all know they're the cherries. All right. Because in the book Isaiah, we describe as a worm, man. Right? Right? We don't have no military might. Right? We don't have the blessing of Esau. All right? It's like I'm in the put Jacob worm. Jacob worm. You got some of people. It says right here, Isaiah 41 and 14, "Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, say Yahweh, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel." And while the Most High call us worm, why could we defenseless? All right, we don't have no military might. All right, we have Yahweh, but we have to wait on Yahweh to give that green light, man. All right, to give you'll get a green light. He gonna lift up that standard upon whoever his select, whoever they may be, among the 144,000 mentioned in the book of Revelation, was 12,000 out of each 12,000 Israel, some men. And we don't know who they are. Most High, we hope we are though, man. All right, because worms defenses. When you go searching for a worm for fish bait, he's defenseless, man. All right. He has no claws. He has no teeth. He has no armor. He's basically butt as it said, butt naked, butt naked, man. He's defenseless, man. All right. He's danger to birds, and whatever. All danger of he stay out so long, like if it rain. You see him crawling in water, then especially don't let it be a hot day. That water evaporates, man. He's stuck on the pavement to bake to death, man. All right. So the same thing with our people, man. We don't have no military might or anything, man. All right. We have Yahweh Shai, but we have to wait on him, man. You know, we have to wait on him. That's why I think it said the patient of faith of the saints in Revelation 13, 9 and 10. All right. All right. So, all right. So right here it says, let us oppress the. Let me see right here. It said, let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Right? They think you worth nothing, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. These all they think of you as a damn animal, man. Why you think they call you monkey apes, yard apes? All right. This says right here. It says Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decree, their right grievous which they have prescribed. All right, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fathers. Now, during this time, like verse 2, turn aside from the evil judgment, take the right upon my people, they may pray. Right, but this is talking about Esau, man, during this time. All right. So yeah. All right, you see, it said, oh, they changed the law to return and this and that. All right, that's what Esau does, man. Let me get another scripture. Psalms 55, 21. All right, I said the words of his mouth were smooth and butter, but war was in his heart. But words were soft and oil, and yet they drawn swords. All right, can't trust Esau, man. All right, let's see. Psalms 55 and 20. He had put forth his hands against us and be at peace with him, and had broken his covenant, his agreements. You see what they say? Oh, they changed it. Then say they try to get legit citizenship in the modern day state of Israel, but they always come against Esau, always throw up stumbling blocks, man. That's why we call Esau the devil, and devils mean deceiver, man. All right, it means deceiver. All right. Let me get this right here. Mess. All right. So let's go to this clip right here.
Rich history that then in 1966. Now, have you ever heard of the African Hebrew Israelites? Well, they are a sect of Black Americans who began moving to...
First of all, they're now black. All right, black is a color, not nationality. Their fonts across their news, that font you see right here is black. All right, nobody's walking the earth right there, brown skin, and they are Israelites, majority from the tribe of Judah. All right, you have Gad, so-called Native American, among them. You have so-called Seminole Indians among them, and tribe of Reuben. All right, so these are Israelites, not black. All right.
Israel in the late 1960s, claiming to be descendants of the ancient Israelites. They're known for religious practices that include veganism and polygamy, and number about 3,000 people here in Israel, most of whom live in the southern desert town of Dimona. Now, most have received permanent residency under arrangements with the Israeli government, but now at least 46 families have just received deportation orders from the Interior Ministry saying that they have to leave the country within just 60 days. Well, we have Prince Emmanuel Ben Yehuda joining us from Dimona itself. He's the national spokesman for the African Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem. So first of all, tell us more about your community and when this movement to Israel began.
Well, thank you very much, Natasha, for having us on this evening. Well, there's a very rich history of tribes across Africa tracing their descendants to the land of Israel. And it also extends into the Americas, where many of the tribes were taken during the slave trade. In fact, there's a book by Professor James Landing out of the University of Chicago called Black Judaism, the History of an American Movement, which traces the presence of African Americans who trace their descendants to Israel back to the 1500s. So it's quite a very rich history that then in 1966, at a Beta Hebrew Cultural Center in Chicago, which was home.
All right, so you said rich history of our people tracing their lineage back to the 1500s. Now, and right here, this guy named.
It's a fact. In the new economy, average people are becoming millionaires faster and easier than ever before.
It got me
To settle the cases. 1970. You have children in second and third generation. Bit of accuracy.
All right, now right here it said Asherah Moore. All right, you go more. All right, so long, slow. There you go right here, more. Stately and noble. More. All right, we all know what more. We say more. They say more. The Moors. All right, the Moors were number Israelites. That was on the different doctrine, religious doctrine. All right, some say Islam, some Christianity. All right, like my family was. All right, some it's on the original law, statutes, commandments where it's supposed to be. All right, that's what consists the Moors that invaded Spain, Portugal, and Ireland. All right, you have few Egyptian, Syrians among them, but the majority of people those were Israelites. All right, Moors. I'm trying to get this. Let me see more. Let me see. And they people in Esau, try to change a few things. All right, let me look up the. You see, they changed the coat of arms. Right here, you see, they put it on the African American Moor family. All right, but anyway, this was the Moor. You see Moor. See the coat of arms, crest for family coat of arms. Or you see the family crest. Blackmore. It don't make no sense to me, but anyway. All right. You see Moors, what it basically means, the Moors. All right, these people. All right. Go right. He said rich history, and this is what Esau did. Cause he went around and lied. What said Psalms 58:3. He come out the womb speaking lies, man. All right. So Esau lied, said the people, so-called African Americans, are Hamites. When you go into the Zombie Bible Dictionary, it's saying Ham, the progenitor of the dark races, the Egyptians, the Canaanites, the Ethiopians, the Libyans. But it says not the Negroes. And that's where they own scholars. All right, so you go right here. And matter of fact, there's this book, The Jews of Spain and Portugal and the Inquisition by Frederick David Mercator, 1828 and where he lived 1828 to 1905, originally published in 1877. All right, now look what he says. Salak. All right, page 32. He says what? All right, this is August 1492. All right, when our people were brought down, they fell into Spain and Portugal. All right, it says 2nd of August 1492 fell on the 9th at 52:52 a.m. It's the anniversary of the destruction of first and second temple. So many troubles to the house of Israel. All right, and Salak had took this so fast. I don't know, you know. But anyway, it says all right, it says right here, and of so many troubles to the house of Israel had never recurred before with such severity as on the present occasion. The number of Jews who thus quitted Spain had never been asserted. Mariana put it as high as 800,000, while some other historians estimate as low as 160,000. So taking the middle course, we had made probably assuming it may be a little short of 400,000. The fate of the exiles will vary in different lands where they sought refuge. Those who escaped from Morocco and Algeria found an inhospitable reception. Many were sold into slavery. Some starved to death, while others were ripped open in hopes of finding gold pieces in their bodies, and a few preferred to return to Spain and receive baptisms. A fate was forced on some others who were wrecked on the Spanish coast. All right. Y'all be back for part 2. Most I want.